he was facing some jail time over that, child molestation case.
I thought they gave him
They
probation
gave
or
him
something for
probation.
that. Yeah.
The same day he gets out, the judge gives him probation. That shooting happened in New York between his crew and like his management company or whatever else, and one of his guys gets shot. The same day.
The ones who supposed to have bilked him out of the 3.2, according to him.
Something.
Okay, got you.
Something. And then a couple weeks later, he was doing a video shoot in I think Beverly Hills with Kanye, and Nicki Minaj was on her way, and that house gets shot up.
Right.
So you're talking about 2 shootings right after they gave him probation. If I were just look at this as someone who does, I don't know anything about the logistics of this case. I don't talk to anybody. If I'm looking at this from a legal, from the other side of it, it seems to me like someone said, "We gave this guy probation, and look what he's doing. We're tired of it. We're just simply tired of this person mocking the law. We're just gonna
Flouting the law, as they
flouting,
say.
saying, feeling like he's untouchable and shootings everywhere."
Yeah, I saw somebody watching an interview with him a couple days ago, and it was like he was, "Hey, I'm untouchable. I'm the man." He had his little, sweater on and his specs. He was looking like, he was planning to be the new Meyer Lansky or something.
Yep.
I was like, okay, you young, you arrogant, you newsworthy. Let's see where this go. You keep you keep pulling the tail of the donkey. You know what I'm saying? let's see where it go. I'm in for the entertainment aspect of it.
Well, remember when he came to L.A. to Complex Con, he got into it with
Slim.
Slim 400.
Yeah. Right.
They wouldn't let him in. It turned into a whole altercation, like at the front door. Then the shooting happened right afterwards. Not to say it had anything to do with it, but I'm just saying the shooting happened right afterwards, and it's just like the whole thing is like a fucking mess. Matter of fact, the only time I ran into him was at a strip club, and I went there, said what's up to him. I talked to him and Treyway for a minute, then went back to my section, and then someone threw a bottle at him, and then all hell broke loose. They had to be escorted out, and they got banned from, I forgot what it was, what strip club it was. And it's like everywhere they go, it's that type of ruckus.
Got you.
So I think at one point someone high up.
He invites that type of energy.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's probably like, man, this is enough because it can only get worse. And then again, when you have so many noted altercations like that and somebody come at you, they don't really have a small suspect list to sift through. It's like,
right.
Well, who might have did this?
Right.
And they got 50 from this city, 25 from this city. This whole state want a piece of your ass. So it's like, who do we look at first?
Yeah, because there was a shooting that happened at the Barclays Center. He was beefing with Casanova 2 times at the time. Not to say that he had nothing to do with it, but this was this was covered very, very closely. And I guess like an innocent bystander got shot. And there's just a bunch of fuck shit that's going back a couple years. If you were to look at this, from what you know about the legal system, being in and out of the legal system since you were a child, do you think this is something he could beat, or do you think he's going to sit down for a while after it's all said and done?
I definitely think it's going to cost him a whole lot of money just to put up a sound defense against everything they're going to try to hit him with. And it's going to throw his whole momentum off, and it might take, when the feds get you, you don't go to court like, okay, you go to court in January, then you'll be back in March for your, preliminary, and then you come back in July for pretrial. You can go to court, to my understanding, like every 4 or 5 months, every 6, 7 months, your court cases can be stretched that far apart. So you talking about he might go to court 4 or 5 times in 2 years, 2, 3 years, that's really going to disrupt his momentum.
Yeah, and since he got denied bail, he's gonna have to just sit there in a cell while all this is happening.
Yes, and you still have to pay for your mortgage, and you still have to pay for your car notes,
Yeah.
and keeping everything in operation, and your staff, and things of that nature. So it's gonna be real expensive. It's gonna be real expensive, and the way it all unfolded, I can kind of see it probably being, people becoming frustrated at his flouting of the law, and they really not big on that anyway. That's like the uppity nigger syndrome. You know what I mean? Damn if he's Hispanic or whatever, but he identifies with us, and it's like hey, we gotta curtail this guy right here.
Well, I'll just say this before we end this topic.
Mm-hmm.
If you looked at Treyway, on his Instagram, and when you see him in videos, he would always call themselves the new death row. It's Treyway, the new death row. And it's just interesting how you throw that energy out in the world. And when you look at all the bad shit that's happened to death row,
Yeah.
and you don't. Death row is not Motown. Like let's just keep it all the way 100 here.
Right.
It's death row.
Right.
A lot of people are dead. A lot, the co-founders in prison.
Yeah.
Like
A lot of people are dead.
yeah, a lot of people are dead.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been shot, beat up, in jail forever.
Yeah.
You start calling yourself the new death row.
You bring that energy
You bring
onto
that energy.
yourself. You know what I mean?
You actually became
it's
the new
like
death
being
row.
a Satanist. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then don't want nothing bad to happen to you. You know what I'm saying? The devil is evil. He represents evil.
Yep.
So, if you pushing that, hey, you get everything you got coming with it.
Well-
but wish that this time that he has to really sit down and evaluate what's going on. If he gets any peace, he might not get no peace in Rikers to do that. But, I don't know how it's going to go for him, but hopefully he'll learn. And if he does come out of it, it'll make him a better person, because sometimes it take a spanking to put you on the right track. If can't nobody tell you nothing, that's my philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like no one can check you, then you have to check yourself. You have to, or else you're just totally out of control.
Yeah, we're gonna end it right there with that. If you feel like nobody could check you, you have to check yourself.
Yes, sir.